Alright, so I was asked to do a video about rhythmic notation and time signatures and just kind of the basics of that. I'm going to try to keep it real short. I haven't really prepared any guidelines for myself, so I'm just going to kind of wing it and hope it turns out to be educational and hopefully short, like I said. I do want to preface this by saying that I am a little bit sick, so I apologize if I cough or uh, sniffle or anything during the video. So I do apologize for that in advance. But I'm going to start with 4/4 because it is probably the most basic time signature you're going to come across. Um, you can basically hear this by turning on your radio to any pop or rock station. Most songs you're going to hear on those stations are going to be in 4/4, a real straight ahead kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And when you look at 4/4, as with any other time signature, how I like to approach it is first I look at the bottom number. Um, Obviously in 4/4 they're the same number, so it doesn't really say much to look at the 4. But the bottom 4 means what kind of note you're counting. So in this case, it's going to be a quarter note. If that were an 8, it would be an eighth note. Same with 16th and 32nd notes as you move up. Um, but the top number is going to be the number of notes that you count. Um, so in 4/4, it's going to be 4 quarter notes. You know, like I demonstrated, just counting straight ahead 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah, that whole thing. And it transitions kind of the same way for 3/4. You're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, etc. Um, and one of the kind of weird things that I think a lot of people get confused with um, is that like 3/4 is technically the same as 6/8. Like it does have a different feel to it within the music. Like 3/4 is kind of a waltzy type thing, whereas 6/8 is an Opeth song. But you know, with with 3/4 and 6/8 within any given tempo, I just screwed up the lighting because I moved out of. Damn it! But with 3/4 and 6/8 within any given tempo, the a bar of 3/4 and a bar of 6/8 are going to take the exact same amount of time in in terms of duration, but because you're counting 6/8 in terms of eighth notes and 3/4 in terms of quarter notes, it's going to feel a little bit different, and that's why the differentiation is there between 6/8 and 3/4. Um, yeah, that's probably the best way I can explain that. Um, and then moving kind of up to 5/4 is where it starts to feel kind of weird because you don't hear a lot of stuff like in 5 and different stuff like that. I mean, the first song that comes to my head um, that's in 5/4 is Stream of Consciousness by Dream Theater. I want to say it's all in 5. I could easily be wrong, but I can't think of any sections during the course of the song that are in anything other than 5. So that might be a pretty easy place to start because Portnoy is one of those drummers that does tend to just play a lot of downbeats and kind of keep it relatively straightforward, at least in like the main theme of the song. Um, so, so yeah, there's that. Um, and then once you have an understanding of like 5/4, you can kind of go to 7/4. I skipped 6/4 because it's stupid. um, 7. I think someone in the 1/7 string thread mentioned Zappa's "Don't Eat the Yellow Snow," which is a pretty good song. Another song in 7/4 is "The Sound of Music," Muzak by Porcupine Tree, which is a very groovy song. If you're looking for kind of a weird time, real funky groove, check out "The Sound of Music," because it's groovy. And it'll kind of tweak you because there's different displacement of snare beats, so it is really weird, but it's groovy as hell, and I would definitely recommend checking that out for sevens. But kind of moving right along, we're already at 5. How the fuck is this 5 minutes already? Uh, Going to the eighth note time signatures, like 6/8, we already kind of covered that. It's very similar to 3/4. Going into 7/8 and 9/8 is where it gets kind of funky, because you no longer have like this sort of 3, 4, 1, like a quarter note pulse to kind of have as a reference. Because there is an odd number of eighth notes, it's not going to fall. Like if you're snapping to the quarter note with an uneven amount of eighth notes, it's not going to have that constant quarter note reference point on the 1, if that makes any sense. Like, so say I'm snapping in 4/4, if I were to put 7/8 over that, the second bar of 7/8 would end up on the upbeats of the 4, and I can't keep a tempo while I'm talking apparently, but so say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, with this hand being the 7 and this hand being the 4. I guess you could go back and watch that, because I probably should have explained that better before I started snapping like an idiot. But yeah, that's kind of the idea with the 7/8, and that can kind of turn out to be real funky if you have an understanding of that, and kind of can overlay the bars a little bit. And the same goes with 9/8. And one real easy way to kind of look at 7/8 and 9/8 and different like time signatures that are counted in smaller note groupings like that. Probably shouldn't hit my keyboard. With like 7/8, it's essentially just 1/8 note short of 4/4, which that's kind of again a Mike Portnoy way of describing it, because I do admit I've played drums a lot longer than I've played guitar, and I do have kind of a drummer's mentality when it comes to time signatures at this point. But yeah, and then with 9/8, it's just 1/8 note longer than 4/4, or 1/8 note shorter than 5/4. And the same thing goes with like say like 15/16 is kind of a weird one. Like 16/16 would be 4/4. Just, I mean, like obviously. But like 15/16 is just 1/16 note short of 4/4. So it would be like the way you count 16th notes, I should have said this earlier, but within like 4/4 would be 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And it sounds kind of goofy, excuse me. But if you take that same idea and put it within 15/16, it's kind of like a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a... Yeah. That's something, if you're just getting affiliated with time signatures, you probably won't have to deal with that for a while, and I admire you, because it gets kind of disgusting when you're counting like 21/16 and different goofy shit. But yeah, I'm actually going to cut the video, because this is at 8.5 minutes, and I didn't intend on going this long. So hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully this was educational, and if there's anything that I did not cover that you're hoping that I would, please let me know, and I'll try to make a much shorter video that is more concise and to the point. So yeah, I'm going to cut this now at 9 minutes, and like I said, I hope it was educational. Thanks for watching. Good luck.